now you have my ugly face. But, I couldn't really, at a point, I really couldn't stick around to supervise that anymore. It was drudgery, and it made quitting the booze easy once I separated myself from that. Right? Because then there was nothing to, there's no excuses anymore. There was nothing to bring me down. Look at where I live. Look what I do. Right? I work when I want, whether, and what I want oftentimes means wee hours of the morning. Good morning, girls. See, 2 young Thai girls just watched me doing this video and walking barefoot. They gave me a big smile and wave. Good morning, right? What do you think you get in America? Fuck. If I never, ever go back there, I won't give it. I talked to a guy, American, a couple days ago. I talk to so many people every day. It's like hard to remember where and what was the setting anyway. He's like, I left the U.S. So anyway, this guy comes in and he's former Army, and I don't know whether he retired or he was just in it for a good long while. He said, he was talking about America. He's like, yeah, he says, originally from the Midwest. He says, I haven't been back to America in 35 years. And I have no interest in ever going back. He just got done. He has a big motorcycle, and he just got done with a 6-month tour around Thailand. Imagine the video you can shoot doing that one of these days, but not on the cafe racer. Woo! That's a hard bike to ride, I gotta tell you. It's fun for the short trips, but whew, it's a chore. It's tuned like a racing bike, so even the steering is difficult. It's a counter steering bike. I was just overwhelmed with joy, and I said something like, "This is the life for me," because everything's coming together. I blogged about the getting back in the gym and the effect that's been, because the combination of getting sick, losing 3 or 4 kilos, and then continuing at fasting but still drinking a substantial amount, I was really, really becoming somewhat emaciated. So I stopped the drink and I started eating substantial protein. Ensuite, speak French every day. This is a life for me. What can I say? Right? I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. I'm just saying that, even while I was here, I had to evaluate shit, because you bring all this baggage. I'm in a relationship that I'm not super happy about, except for the kids. And so the one attempt at stopping alcohol, failed at about the 1 month point. And I'd already left. I'd gone to Patty, rented an apartment. And I just let myself get right back into it. And guess what? The drinking cessation, stopped. I started drinking again, as bad as ever. Right? So, but now everything's coming together. Lost nothing, gained everything. Right? That's the first thing. Think about when you quit. You're not losing anything, and you have the opportunity to gain everything. So seize it. Activities. Good social circle. Right? Uniformly here, I don't talk about it much, a little bit to people who know me, have seen me drinking, right? Being drunk. They're 100% supportive. Like, boom. So, I'm not one of these people that, like the step program. Oh, I'm a fucking sinner. Forgive me for my sins. Da da da. I often say, don't apologize. Just don't do it again. Oftentimes, an apology is nothing more than a reset, so you can keep being just stop doing it. If you're sincere, then you won't do it again, or at least you'll try as hard as you can, and you recognize it. Right? So this is the life for me. Once there's no vestige of covidiacy left, and I use the word covidiacy because the meaning has changed 180 degrees. Remember, in the first half of 2020 at least, and probably on into the vaccines. So for a year or so, a covidiot was someone who didn't buy the narrative, right? Covidiots. Now what does it mean? It means those still hanging on to the narrative. 180 degrees. So once all the vestiges of that, hey, I even flew to Bangkok and back a few weeks ago to basically end it with the girl. I was surprised. I got in the airport. There was no, it's Savannah Boomy, and there's no mask requirement. Plenty of people with no masks. I thought, well, surely it'll be required on the flight. Jet I used. I like their Thailand operation. Some people don't like it. I always had a nice time. The flight attendants are adorable. But adorable girls is ubiquitous in Thailand. And nice. Anyway, see how easy I get sidetracked? I see how easy it is to start thinking about that? So I get on, I'm in the the boarding line. There's people with no mask on. And they're, given their boarding pass and why on no mask. I'm like, holy shit. So I pulled off my damn mask. Yep. Flight with no mask. To Bangkok and then back to Phuket, So stuff is going away. When it is finally, and I'm back in the money, at least where I'm not on extreme austerity, I intend to take trips, but probably mostly around here, Southeast Asia, It's been 1989 since I was in the Philippines. Like to take a trip back there, maybe Korea, Japan even, I left all these places were 89 when I left, because that's when my 5 years in Japan ended. I moved on to France. Well, first the language school and then France. I wanted to, and plus Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. Back in my day, there was no such thing as going to any of those countries. And I don't know if you know the story, but I had a visa for both Cambodia and Vietnam. Initially, I was going to do overland. I was going to enter through one of the land things. I was down south, right near the Cambodia border, south on the other side, on the eastern side of the Bay of Thailand, in Koh Chang, Elephant Island, the biggest island. Phuket's the second biggest, or maybe it's the other way around. But they're both big islands. And so I was going to go cross one of the land borders into Cambodia, and then make my way across Cambodia and then into Vietnam, and I had visas for both. So I quit that at the insistence of Yui, the girl, Thai girl, in Chiang Mai. And so, had I not gone back to Chiang Mai for my last 2-ish weeks here before my visa expired, things would be totally different. I would sure have more money. Laugh about it. The only solution is to go make more money. You don't cry over it. You don't get bitter. You don't let it eat you up. Just go make more money. How do you made it one time, just fucking do it again. Right? And so that would have been different. But what would have been worse? Now, I have friends and acquaintances who were in Vietnam for the lockdowns. So here I am in the check-in line to fly to Vietnam on, I think it was March 15th of 2020. My visa was due to expire like the next day in Thailand, 60 days. And the flight's canceled. So I tried to book another where there's a flight open to Hanoi. But the problem with the Vietnamese visa is that it specifies a point of entry. And mine was Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. That was no go, right? So that's how I ended up getting stuck in Thailand. Vietnam was a nightmare. They're literally locking people in their places, could not go out, only order food. Asshole commies patrolling the streets with machine guns for a respiratory virus. This world. Thailand was more of talk, which is Thailand to a T. There's the say and then do. There's the say and acting out and the virtue signaling. Why, you see Thai people all the time outside still wearing their masks. Why? Do you think it's fear over this virus or anything like that? No. It's to show they're a good, compliant, obedient Thai subject. That's it. Right? Now, if they just stop fucking testing, they're like that, They sneeze or cough. Run, go get a test. Oh, I'm positive for COVID. Yeah, but are you sick? I mean, really sick. Disconnect. You will get no answer to that question. That's Thai behavior. If they don't like the answer to a question, they pretend you didn't ask it. Know the terrain. Don't bellyache about it. Just know it and understand it. Here in what I like to call Lieland. So, I can hear you ask, well, why would you live in a place that you call Lieland? It's cultural. Every place is Lieland, really, right? It's just that in the Buddhist culture, they seem to be more, what would you say? It's still a bad thing to do, but everybody does it. And it's combined with that face saving thing, golden rule, kind of wink and nod, I know you fucked up, but I'm not gonna, call you out for it, and especially not in front of other people, you know. But I don't know. It's different. Christian culture, Buddhist culture, quite different. So you could say that, well, you just like it because it's different. You grew up in Christian culture. Probably could be true, at least half true, part true, right? So yeah, it's a novelty, right? It's one of those things of, you know, maybe it's part of one of those things where you're like, well, I know Buddhist culture. You don't know Buddhist culture? Oh, crap. Unwashed. Right? You don't know about these other cultures. You know how it goes. So I suppose there's an element of that to it as well, right? Everybody likes to be like a little bit more enlightened than the next guy, right? So they just admit to it. I was thinking about it the other day. Remember a couple of videos guys talking about like the tens and tens of thousands of girl bars all over Asia, right? Yet nobody goes to them. So you're left asking the question, well, how did they stay in business and how do all the girls survive? No idea, man, but it ain't me. Okay. It's kind of like the same thing, like consuming or watching porn, right? Nobody does it. Yet those companies make billions. Off of who? We don't know. Anybody's guess, right? So I guess the point of that is, yeah, I live in Thailand, but it's just a convenient way of saying it. Clever and convenient and a little bit funny. But really, the whole world's Thailand. And if COVID hasn't like exposed that for what it is, how just awful it is. Okay, so I'm loving this life. Really, really loving it. It is for me. This is the life for me. Really. Love America. Love my family. But better start planning a trip here. And what, I know, why should I go back? Live there except for the 7 years, 5 in Japan and 2 years in France. I left at 59. So, it's 52 years of living in America. It's enough. So, people ask me, well, how long are you going to live in Hawaii? I say, well, if everything works out, until I die. Other people say that too. I have no interest in going anywhere else. I know there's other places in Thailand I can travel to them, see them. But this place is very special. So, family, plan trips, come out and see me. At least 2 weeks, not less. And hopefully, better yet, a month. So, make your arrangements, because I ain't coming back to the U.S. So, zero interest. Zero. And it doesn't mean I hate America. I love America. I love the culture. I love the ideal of America. Right? What it was originally founded. But, I know it. I've had my experience there. And even if it wasn't like totally going down the tubes, I'd still be like, meh. It's cool because from 84 to 89, I lived in Asia, and it wasn't just sitting in Japan for 5 years. It was traveling all over these places. I was in Thailand 7 times between 86 and 90, right? Philippines at least 50 times. We had Subic Navy base there. So. And the work, the ship work, was inexpensive compared to Yokosuka Navy base in Japan. Very high quality work, Japanese, but expensive. And everywhere. So I'd like to revisit a lot of these places once the COVIDiacy is finally finished. But who knows? They're on to it's got to be the next new thing, right? Now it's Ukraine, and hopefully that goes away too. So love life. If you want to support, go to freetheanimal.com. Say, man, he's doing these videos like 3 a day. Last week 11 videos, putting them up, and his blog has almost 5,100 posts in 19 years, a rate of 1.4 a day. This guy's a consistent producer, so help me out with it. All you have to do is subscribe to as a supporting member. $6 a month, $50 a year, which is 33% discount, but understandable for the monthly subscribers. Some do it because they want to pay the extra, and some do it just to do a toe dip, 2-3 months, so $12 to $18, and you can say yeah. And if you shift to a annual at $50, it automatically cancels the monthly, and you're good. Or you can cancel in one click. You say, nah, it's not for me. It's okay. Right? All right. Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. I got to come up with a jingle for that or something. Right? And what I said in my post yesterday. Unless anything that is not any feeling about any particular video that is not abject hatred and loathing is an automatic like. Anything not is automatic like. See, all ambiguity is advantage producing. Goes to my advantage. Do it. Till next time.